The A406, also known as the North Circular, is one of the busiest roads in London. In Golders Green, a retaining wall secures raised private gardens backing onto the dual carriageway. Many decades old, this wall had been under increasing pressure from trees growing in the soil behind it. The footpath had to be closed because the retaining wall was in danger of collapse. TfL had to take action, but the residents of Woodlands were worried what impact construction would have on their gardens and lives.
It's a very quiet, peaceful sort of neighbourhood. People tend to use their gardens for their children, for activities, so it was really important to get the wall right.
It's definitely a team effort to decide how we progress with these type of projects. We have the project team, we have our designers, and we also have our contracting element who build the wall, but they also have an input in the early stages.
Very early on there was several different options available. One of them, we was talking about closing parts of the North Circular for up to 6 months while we were piling in front of the existing wall, and fortunately we chose a different solution.
The option we've gone for here with the passive ties, also known as the ground anchors, is the least intrusive and least disruptive.
We installed over 300 ground anchors through the existing wall into the residential back gardens.
The ground anchor option was a concern for people simply because these ground anchors had to be registered on our individual deeds.
Originally, we were speaking to every property owner individually, and that proved extremely difficult. We eventually appointed one property owner who represented all the property owners, and that really sped things up.
The design agreed and legal matters resolved, it was time to plan the build. Always with one goal in mind, to minimise disruption.
We didn't have to excavate the gardens, and we could keep the road open as much as possible, working off-peak times, allowing the traffic to flow during normal peak hours.
TfL was also keen to keep the noise down for residents already exposed to high levels of traffic noise.
After discussions with the council, we would have to give them respite. We would work in one location for one night, then we'd have a night off, move back the following night. So it gave them a chance to not feel the effects of much of the construction works around them.
And one night in July 2015, the wall was transformed, bringing new life to this stretch of the North Circular.
The green wall is the first one of its type that TfL have installed on our road network.
This green wall, well, we believe is one of the largest in the UK and second largest in Europe.
It's very attractive, and I must say I was very impressed how well it was constructed.
It's a bespoke design, and we sat for up to 6 months before the contract was delivered, working on this design and how the irrigation system was going to work.
The fact that we don't use soil is quite innovative, and it keeps the weight down, and the only thing that keeps these plants alive and nutrient fed is the irrigation systems.
You can operate this from an app on your phone. If it's dry weather, it lets you know that the system needs more water, so you can up the amount of water that's being pumped across the system. This is a very intelligent green wall.
I think the most obvious benefit is the aesthetic one. The fact that a very structural piece of work is finished in a living wall, basically a vertical garden.
Rather than it being a graffiti artist haven with a concrete construction, it's actually a green wall now, which looks pleasing on the eye.
I hope for years to come that it's going to thrive and grow and stay around for a long time to come.
Yes, it's lovely. Unfortunately, the cars are still there, but no, it does make a difference.
The carbon bond for this living wall is quite healthy, positioned right next to the North Circular, where you get a lot of carbon production.
It helps to improve air quality. It's something completely different. You wouldn't see anything like this anywhere.
I guess the secret to a successful project is being able to work closely together at the early stages of construction, sit around the table, discuss the scope, the benefits to the residents, to the network, to the traffic, and really come up with the best solution that works around everybody that's involved.
Work at Woodlands Retaining Wall is part of our £4 billion Road Modernisation Plan, which is investing money to improve our road network and create a safer environment for our road users, pedestrians and cyclists.